My greatest fear in life is oblivion. I wouldn't want to live without being remembered after I'm gone. This line is from Augustus Waters, one of the lead characters from the movie The Fault in Our Stars, which is an adaptation of John Green's novel. The movie is a heartbreaking story of a young girl, Hazel Grace, whose battle with metastatic thyroid cancer has left her with little rays of hope for life. Her condition and constant battle for her life defines the storyline of the movie. As part of efforts to make Hazel lead a normal life, she is advised by her parents and family doctor to join a support group where she gets the opportunity to meet other kids fighting different kinds of terminal illnesses. Fortune decides to smile on Hazel in the support group as she meets Augustus, who is also a cancer patient but has refused to give up on life even after getting amputated due to cancer. Gus, as he is fondly called, will always say the world is not a wish granting factory when he needs to stay motivated. This he passes on to his newfound love, Hazel. The love story between Hazel and Augustus takes a tragic turn when Gus gives up his battle with cancer, leaving a devastated Hazel to continue the fight. Such emotional devastation was handled perfectly by Hazel, who takes solace in a letter written beforehand by Gus to motivate her after his demise. The philosophy that we derive from the movie is
You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world. In Gus's last effort to show his adoration for Hazel, he writes, the not so great Peter Van Houten, asking the author to help him eulogize the love of his life. As it would turn out, Gus didn't need the help. The last word he wrote about Hazel are both the epitome of great love and wise teachings. As a whole, we spend a great deal of time trying to avoid pain. But if we read carefully, The Fault in Our Stars also teaches us that pain demands to be felt and the universe likes to be noticed. No matter how we try, Gus is right. We don't get to choose if we get hurt. It is near certainty that we'll experience pain. Each of us should hope that in the end we can say, not that we weren't hurt, but that we chose wisely as to who hurts us. If we are careful when we pick our poison, we'll be lucky enough to like our choices, making it all worth a while.
Not all desires get fulfilled. Hazel didn't want Augustus to see her in the ICU. In fact, the circumstances surrounding her entire relationship with Augustus were not what she wanted at all. Hazel didn't have the ability to choose a few healthy days over all the sick ones she had left. Peter Van Houten did not turn out to be the sane author Hazel and Gus had hoped for, and in the most unfair move the literary universe had ever witnessed. Augustus lit up like a Christmas tree when he went in for his PET scan. Why? Because you don't always get what you want. Life is so often unfair at best, but Hazel and Gus teach us to try and turn the unjust ways of the universe into a punchline, to turn the negative into a beautiful inside joke that can be cast aside, relieving us from our incessant need to rationalize the irrational or make sense of things that will never be fair. Acceptance of the world's inconsistency on the fairness front grant us the ability to focus on the good we have been given.
You can't always get what you want. Guess what? The world is not fair. If you're playing along thinking it will be fair, you have the wrong scorecard. But there is still hope. And that's a crucial message, one that's not all positive or all negative. And if you think some of them are not already learning this in the course of their own lives and you are helping them by shutting out the negativity, you are so wrong.
You are never defined by your illness. For ones who are struggling with the same diagnosis or congenital disease, it can truly teach us all to remember that while an illness becomes a piece of who you are, it does not define you. And you know what? You can do this. Grief does not change you, Hazel, it reveals you. And for those who are lucky enough to have a healthy childhood, the movie can teach you to remember to never pigeonhole people, to allow them to open up and show you their whole person behind the disease.
Everyone you meet is fighting their own battles. The weird thing about houses is they almost look like nothing is happening inside of them, even though they contain most of our lives. At even its simplest, The Fault in Our Stars can be a wake-up call to some preteens, and of course adults as well, that you never quite know the struggles the people around you are going through. Don't be cruel. Maybe seeing a girl of your age with cancer or boy with a prosthetic leg will cause people to look at them with empathy. Maybe they'll choose to be kind rather than to push them away or worse.
social worker was Mr. Mehul Doshi, and he has been working towards helping cancer patients since the last 10 years. We asked him how he came to know about the donation of blood and platelets.
लाइक न्यूज़पेपर में आता था, टीवी पे आता था कि भाई ये ब्लड ग्रुप चाहिए, तो wherever I used to I started doing that. तो 5-7 times ऐसे ही हुआ ब्लड डोनेशन, and that got into habit. Once you do 3-5 times something, so there was no intention, as you I just said in the advance कि भाई accidentally થઈ ગયું તો પછી એક બેચારો accidentally થયું પછી આદત લાગી તો બ્લડ ડોનેટ કરતો હતો for years and years. અને around 2011, I had finished around 68 blood donations.
One of the main reasons behind him donating platelets and starting this organization was due to this one person.
So her name was Jaidevi Sahu from Jhansi. I remember her name very well. She requested me that you also donate platelet for my daughter. She requires it 2-3 units. So do it after 2 weeks. I said देखो मैं डॉक्टर को भी ना बोल चुका हूँ, मुझे मतलब ये नहीं डिफिकल्ट है, मैं 10-11 किलोमीटर दूर रहता हूँ विले पाला में, तो यहाँ आना मेरे लिए मुमकिन नहीं है. Then she told her story कि nobody is ready in my family to get my daughter treated. She is 21-year-old, I am 37. She requested me, she said that I brought money, borrowed money, 5,000 from 3 people. I have come here for the treatment. She will go to trust. She was not even able to read or write. I don't remember so. So she will go to various trusts, collect money. So that was her story. And she said कि उसका hemoglobin शायद कम था. She said कि I cannot donate my own blood, so my battle would be unfinished. So it is better that you मतलब कुछ करो आप. Then I agreed, चलो मैं दूसरी बार मैं 14 दिन के बाद आऊँगा, एक सैटरडे छोड़ के अगले सैटरडे में वापस दूसरी बार आऊँगा. She said मुझे 2 यूनिट चाहिए, तो बोला चलो 2 यूनिट में मैं आऊँगा. तो मेरे एक रिलेटिव को भी मैंने बोला, तो हम लोग ने उसने एक दिया, मैंने 2 दिया. तो आफ्टर 14th डे मतलब 2 वीक के 2 टाइम डोनेट करने के बाद जब मैं बाहर निकला तो वो वापस मुझे मिलने वहाँ पे आई थी. उसको मालूम था कि उसकी डॉटर के लिए तो वो डॉक्टर से भी कोऑर्डिनेट करना होता है, मेरी स्लिप लेनी है, उसको उसके डिपार्टमेंट में दिखाया तो वही प्लेटलेट चढ़ेगा. फिर वो मुझे बोली कि मेरी बेटी आपसे मिलना चाहती है कि बॉम्बे में ऐसे कौन से अंकल है, मेरे लिए 3 प्लेटलेट अरेंज की, 2 खुद ने और 1 रिलेटिव के थ्रू. फिर एवरी सैटरडे शी विल कम एंड मीट मी. कुछ भी नहीं था, मांगना कुछ नहीं था. शी नेवर आस्क्ड मी, आई मीन दोस डेज शी नेवर आस्क्ड मी फॉर एनी हेल्प. उसको भाड़ा देना है, वो है ना एक जैसे गाड़गे महाराज जब ऐसी जगह पे नहीं रहती थी. नाना पालकर 1 महीना रहा, फिर आहूजा में 1 महीना रहा, फिर कहीं नहीं मिला कहीं चले गए, कहीं पे फ्री में कहीं पे भाड़ा नहीं है ये महीने का, तो मैंने चलो 3,500 भाड़ा दिया. कोई ब्लड टेस्ट करवाए जो स्पेशलिटी रेनमैक्सी में हो रहा है, SRL में हो रहा है, तो चलो भाई वहाँ पे मैंने बार्गेन किया. मैं बोला वो नहीं भर रही है, मेरे को भरना है. 3,000 का टेस्ट मैंने 1,200 में करवा के मैंने पेमेंट किया. तो वैसे एक पेशेंट की क्या क्या जरूरत है ऊपर वाले ने कैसे भी मुझे सब सिखा दिया. देन शी गॉट ऑलराइट इन मतलब इन बिटवीन वो मेरे बहुत करीब आ चुकी थी. मतलब वो कहीं भी खाना बना रही है तो मुझे बुलाएगी, आप और आंटी आओ. मैं मेरी वाइफ जाते थे, उसके जो भी उसने बनाया हम रोटी सब्जी खा लेते थे. फिर मेरे घर आना चालू किया और घर में घुल मिल जाती. मेरी मम्मी से, मेरे पापा से, सबसे बातें करेंगे, उनके पास बैठेंगे, कभी मेरे पास नहीं. तो ऐसे हफ्ते में 1 बार खाने पे आ जाते थे. शी लेफ्ट इन दिसंबर. तब तक मेरा ये प्लेटलेट का तो मतलब 15-20 हो गया था. तो मतलब आई गॉट इनटू दैट प्लेटलेट डोनेशन और टाटा आने का चक्कर चालू हो गया. फिर किसी डॉक्टर के थ्रू कोई सोशल वर्कर से पहचान करे तो उसने मुझे 2 पेशेंट को इंट्रोड्यूस किया. मैं दोनों को यहाँ पे अपना बाजार है बाजू में ही है, वहां ले गया, वहां पे राशन दिलाया. अब 2-3 बार करके मैं मस्जिद बंदर गया. तो मस्जिद बंदर जाने के बाद वहां पे इतनी सारी दुकान है ना राशन की, पता नहीं कैसे यहाँ वहाँ घूमते घूमते एक दुकान में 7:45 बजे दूसरा में, तो वहां पे उनके सेठ ही बैठे थे. स्टाफ भी बहुत सारा गया था, 1-2 जन थे बंद करने वाले. तो मैंने बोला कि मैं देखो ऐसे कैंसर पेशेंट को देता हूँ, लेकिन आपसे डिस्काउंट नहीं मांगूंगा. क्योंकि नॉर्मली क्या होता है, हम लोग कुछ भी छत्तर देना है, बांटना है, ऐसा करके कोई व्यापारी को बोलेगा, उसको पहले वो मन में वो प्रेशर आ जाता है दैट आई विल नॉट गेट एनीथिंग इफ ही इज फॉर सम चैरिटी. यू गिव मी अ गुड क्वॉलिटी, इट इज फॉर कैंसर पेशेंट. तो ही इज रिप्लाइंग मी, મેહુલભાઈ કમાવા માટે આખું મુંબઈ છે, તમારી પાસે મારે કમાવું નથી. दैट डे आज तक उसी का माल आ रहा है. ये अभी बिल देगी ना, वो आज भी उसी का ही माल आ रहा है. यहाँ भी आ रहा है. इवन एट गाड़गे महाराज ही इज सेंडिंग राशन. ही स्पेंड्स अभी वो एक लड़की का फीस भर रहा था, उसके लड़के ने मुझे बोला मैं भरता हूँ. तो ही स्पेंड्स अराउंड 3 to 4 लाख रुपीज और 5 लाख रुपीज थ्रू मी। फिर 6 से मेरा 1 साल में 25 राशन हो गया। फिर धीरे धीरे कभी 300-500 राशन हो जाते हैं और फिर भी कम पड़ रहे हैं। अभी आप देखो कितने लोग आए और आके चले गए, मतलब सबको वेटिंग लिस्ट कितना बड़ा इसके पास है। तो अभी राशन का चला, अभी राशन जो 25 देता था ना मैं, उसमें से सबको थोड़ी बात करने की मेरी थी, 1-2 मिनट बात कर लेने का, कहाँ से है वो, कौन पेशेंट है। तो वो बात करते करते 25 में से 5-6 गाड़ के महाराज के थे। तो मैंने एक आध वहाँ पे खाना अरेंज कर लिया। फिर 1 महीने के बाद मेरे दोस्त ने किया, तो महीने में 1-2 में करने लगा था। फिर मैं बढ़ाते गया, लोगों को बात करते गया और लोग करते गए। मेरा ट्रस्ट नहीं है फाउंडेशन में, पैसा नहीं लेता, वो आके खुद करके फिर वो करके जाते। तो आप अपने 10 फ्रेंड को बताएंगे, वैसे बढ़ता गया। तो हम लोग ने 13-14 में सोचा कि 365 डेज 1 मील मिलना चाहिए। तो वो मेरे ख्याल से 15 से हो गया। 15 के बाद मेरे ख्याल से एक भी दिन ऐसा नहीं गया कि 1 मील ना हुआ हो। फिर मैंने बॉर्जिस जाना चालू किया बैंड्रा में। बैंड्रा में बॉर्जिस होम में मैंने राशन देना चालू किया एंड देन वहाँ डिनर भी चालू किया एंड आई कंटिन्यूड विद द नूरी में 2017 में गया। फिर गरीब नवाज गुरुद्वारा, फिर छोटा छोटा बहुत कुछ हुआ, लेकिन मेन देन इन 2017 आई स्टार्टेड विद दिस क्लिनिक। पेशेंट कहीं भी रहते, गाड़के में रहे या बॉर्जिस या कहीं भी, मतलब बहुत सारे, तो ये तो 1000-1500 पेशेंट है जो कोई ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूट में रहते हैं। बाकी के पेशेंट तो स्लम में रहते हैं या कहीं भी कोई पहचान वाले के घर पे रहते हैं। तो वो तो कुर्ला या थाना या कहाँ टीटवाला कहाँ भी रहता है, लेकिन आना यहाँ पे है ना, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग ये करें। तो फिर हम लोग ने यहाँ क्लिनिक किया कि उसके रिलेटिव को महंगा ना पड़े। बॉम्बे बहुत महंगा शहर है, तो हम लोग 20 रुपया लेते थे यहाँ पे डॉक्टर का चार्ज, और बाकी जो दवाई है वो हम लोग सब फ्री में देते थे। और हो सके 99% कोई प्रिस्क्रिप्शन नहीं दे देते थे, उसको बाहर से लेना पड़े। तो वही हो गया ना। फिर भी चलो थोड़ा कम होता था। 99% हम लोग डॉक्टर को वही बोलते थे कि अगर वो दवा नहीं है तो हमसे मंगा लो, हम लोग होलसेल से लाके यहाँ रख देंगे। देन दिस इज प्रोटीन पाउडर, सर्जिकल, एक एक करके सूझता गया। देखो 2 व्हीलचेयर पड़ा है, 4 व्हीलचेयर पड़ा है, वो ऑल दिस थिंग्स वी स्टार्टेड एंड यू नो द रेस्ट।
Around 50% of cancer patients and their families in the country struggle financially to manage care for the disease, which is one of the leading causes of mortality and morbidity in India. Around 13 lakh new cases.
Wait, let me stop you right there. I will tell you a bunch of statistics and it will shock you for a minute and then the next second it will be forgotten. Statistics bore us. We don't care about the numbers unless we or our family members become one of those numbers.
When we were there, few of them looked so pale and fragile that they could not even get up from their wheelchair. The sight gave me goosebumps. We talked to them and these little kids were full of hope. The mother of one of those girls was standing across. I went there and talked to her. She said, मैं अब 3 घर में काम करती हूँ एंड इसके पापा की गवर्नमेंट की नौकरी है, वक्त ही नहीं दे पाते अपनी बेटी को क्योंकि पैसे ही कहाँ से लाएंगे। I was speechless when I heard that. Their daughter was suffering from lymphoma. Just like every other parent, they could not give up on their daughter and wanted the best treatment for her cancer. I looked into her eyes and I could see the hope trembling.
Just like the disease, the cost of treatment are also metastatic. In simpler words, they increase and in most cases remain lifelong. This is one of the reasons poor patients aren't able to afford the treatment. In many cases, these patients are the sole earning member of the families.
How many more years will I live? And how much will I have to spend for it? Cancer patients usually have to do the math between these two questions and end up giving the latter one more importance.
Our government spends very little on public healthcare and there is poor coverage insurance which results to this problem. All of this leads to poor quality of life, delay in treatment, delay in getting follow-ups and non-compliance to the therapy.
Where can we as students play a role? We can team up with NGOs that work for cancer treatment of poor patients and help them in getting funds. We can also raise awareness about the disease so that it can get diagnosed in early stages, which can result in lesser costs of treatment. We can educate poor patients about health insurance and how they can benefit from it.
Every single life is equally important, and whether poor or rich, every person has a right to proper health care and treatment.
We have always been fascinated by the power or will to live. Like all creatures in the animal world, human beings have a fierce instinct for survival. The will to live is a force within all of us to fight for our survival when our lives are threatened by the disease such as cancer. Yet this force is stronger in some people than in others. In this fast world, sometimes we might forget how many kind people reside around us.
We may not be able to acknowledge them every day, but we are taking a shot here. We are talking about compassionate person Mehul Doshi. He with his donors are working left and right and center to help many cancer patients as possibly can. He is an inspiration to all of us. He provides ration, financial help like paying college school fees for the kids suffering from cancer who are not financially stable to pay their own fees. He also provides them with bags with stationery like pens, pencil, compass box and books and etc.
We as a society should not only appreciate and respect such tender human, but also try our best to contribute in whatever way we can to make this a beautiful world, a pleasant place for underprivileged. Mehul Doshi does not take money from anyone for this purpose. He believes that dealing in kind is the best way to do the charity. If anyone wants to help him in this, for example, if someone wants to feed the kids a meal, they can directly contact Mr. Mehul Doshi. He also provides the patient with properly prescribed high protein diets, which turned out to be very beneficial for them.
We started this with a mindset that it's a college project, but it turned out to be a life-changing experience. We learned that dealing in kind is the most amazing thing a person can do. After talking with survivors, it not only allowed us the opportunity to appreciate life a little more, but also gave us a new perspective on what important in the life, including dreams or life questions is you never asked. Another thing which we learned is sharing your own life with others and receiving aid or support from friends, family will improve your ability to cope and help you fight for your life. There is a need to share your own problem, but helping others find solution to or cope better with the problems of daily living gives strength to both the giver and the receiver. There are few more satisfying experiences in life than helping a person in need.
Be bold and be willing to experience each day to the fullest to enhance your enjoyment of life. As long as fear, suffering, and pain can be controlled, life can be lived fully until the last breath. Each of us has the capacity to live each day a little better, but we need to focus on both purpose and goal and set into action a realistic daily plan, often altered many times, to help us achieve them. These resources are the foundation of the will to live. Only by using the power of the will to live, nourished by hope, can we achieve the sublime feeling of knowing and experiencing the wonders of life and appreciate its meaning through vital living.
Just as cancer affects your physical health, it can bring up a wide range of feelings you are not used to deal with. Never make fun of someone who shares their problem with you. Listen to them and help them as much as possible because you are just hearing it and they are going through it. I have heard it many times, but now I have started to implement it.
The thing I have learned in my life is to be grateful and value whatever you have in your life. When I saw one of the patients, it gave me goosebumps and made me re-evaluate my life, because in that moment I realized that I have a complete life and there are people in this world with so many problems. Also, I wanted to say that I learned to help others as much as I can. There are very few people like Mehul sir, and I wish there are more people like him in this world, as there are people who require our help, and I started believing in the concept of giving back to the society after seeing him.
To end with, I want to share that this experience has personally affected me and on so many levels. So let's start with gratitude. Personally, I never practiced it, but following this experience, I have learned to be grateful for a lot of things in my life, like my complete family, my friends, and my life, basically, which is just so much better than the conditions I have seen. I have learned to be more empathetic towards people, helping them to the best of my ability, because if you really think of it, we have been given the opportunity to be in a position to help people. So I just want to say, whatever happens in life, I think as humans, we should just be more kind and helpful to everyone in our life, because we have so much to give to life. Sometimes, if we look at the things we have, it's already a lot more than we could wish for.